The following program is being brought to you by the Farmhouse Cafe and Mind Body Spirit of Omaha.
Living in the millennium. Souls be looking for a healing and he's healing them. Feeling some of them.
My name is Robin Hesselgesser and I'd like to welcome you to Hesselgesser on Purpose. This show will cover every topic imaginable and we'll have very exciting and enticing guests. But we have just one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to help you achieve your purpose, because it's never too late. My philosophy is this: once you see it, once you know what your dream is and you see it, it's done. It's just a matter of reverse engineering, i.e. working backwards to go from seeing it to actually living it. Today, I'd like to welcome my guest, Dann Bosselman. Dan, thank you so much for being here today.
It's a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, is right.
Well, we'll see what happens in a little bit, right?
See whether we'll see how this friendship really develops here.
Make sure he doesn't go run from the room screaming. So welcome.
Thanks
again for being here. So I want to start out by talking a little bit about what you do for a living. How long have you had the Farmhouse Cafe?
I am on my 14th year right now.
14th year.
Yeah, year 2000, April is when I took it over, and it was really kind of an interesting story. I never really thought of me having my own restaurant. I've worked in restaurants my whole life and have done every aspect of it, but it was always a dream. But, you know, like you were talking about dreams, sometimes you're just thinking they're so far out there that you never be attainable. You're plucking at things.
Yeah.
And you're right, it was a dream and it fell into my lap. Long story short, I was working at another company. The owners of the farmhouse were going through some difficult times. They needed somebody new, and I was approached by some shareholders, and boom, here I am. They offered me the position with the rights to buy and let it become my own after an amount of time and things like that. And 14 years later, I have a restaurant. I have a very successful restaurant.
So you employ, the farmhouse to me, and you probably can define it better because it's your baby, but to me it's home style, made from scratch, comfort food.
Yep.
Is that the way you describe it?
That would be a very accurate description. It's the food you love to eat, but you don't want to cook because it's all time consuming.
Yeah.
Everything from fried chicken to liver and onions to a scratch bakery to soups to salads, it's all there.
Yeah. And
it's at your table and you don't have to worry about cooking at it, and there's the diversity of anything. If there's two of you, everybody can have something different.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Right.
But yes, it's home cooked food. It's comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
And we have found that out over the years, that when people are unhappy or the weather is lousy and you can't get out, what do you want?
Yeah.
You want to feel good.
Yeah.
So you want comfort food.
Right.
You want mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yeah. Bad day, good day, I want comfort food.
It is so
true. So
true.
tell me what you like most about what you do.
At first, when I first took over the restaurant, it was a real ego boost, because you can say, I own my own restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's the American dream.
Oh, absolutely.
I own my own business. I get to pay oodles and gobs in taxes, but here I am.
Yeah, right. And if you think that you draw a big salary, wrong. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because your mindset changes so much that your salary or what you think that you should have, you invest it back into your company. You have to. There's just no getting around it. after you initially get over the fact that yes, you are successful and you have a great concept and everything, the whole mindset switches, and your focus is your employees and your customers. And your customers always should be your main focus. But I'll be honest, I have 67 employees, and of those 67, I would say at least 50 of them have been with me for at least 12 years now. And they become your family. Wow. It is an extended family. We know everything about each other. We fight like family. But if one of us are in trouble, you've never had a stronger support group. It actually amazes me. And I've always, and over the last couple of years, I'd have to really be honest and say, I thought, well, okay, all I do is serve food. You know, is this really where I'm going with my life? You know, is this all there is? But I think you've even already told me once before, and several other people have iterated to me, no, it's not that. Look at the families that you affect. Absolutely. Look at the income that you have made available for all these people that work for you. And so we really have to grasp this and think about, it's not about me all the time, as much as we all want it to be about ourselves, because we're very selfish-oriented people at times. Yes. But the fact that we can give out and create a business that can support 66 other families, provide them with an income and give them everything and let their dreams come true. Right. Because I have watched a lot of my employees fulfill their dreams. I bet you have. Let's say I've married off probably 6 of my employees already they've fallen in love at the restaurant with another employee. It gets really crazy, and we're not going to go into that at all.
So much for, you know, dipping your pen in the company ink.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's where people meet.
That's where exactly.
You spend so much time at work. It's bound to happen. I will say that I lost my mother suddenly, about 1.5 years ago, as you know, and the environment that you created is not just about food, because I will tell you that after that happened, and she happened to be in Lincoln, but you were the first place I wanted to go to. Adrienne and I, that was our first stop as soon as we got home, because that's the environment you create. So it's never just about food. It's about the atmosphere and how you feel and the food, but it's so much more than just caloric intake. Right. But there's a lot of that.
Thank you. We count on that.
So this is the part where I probably need to tell my director in the control booth to get ready, because there may be a bleep or two. I talked to some of your employees.
Oh, really?
Oh,
you are bad. You think? Okay.
I was afraid something else was going to come out of your mouth.
That's later.
Okay.
We haven't worked up to that point. This will be interesting.
Won't it, though?
Yeah.
Maybe I should do this.
Yeah, this could be really good. Okay.
As I plop off my microphone here. But somebody said that you are the most respected man that she knows.
Wow.
Someone else said that you have high expectation, but you make him want to be better in his job and in his life.
You was at the wrong restaurant.
No, I was not. I was not at the wrong restaurant.
That's
what somebody
said. That's amazing.
That's what somebody said. Somebody else said the same thing that you just reiterated, that you have no turnover. I mean, when somebody gets sucked in, they stay.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
No, you're the one shaking, not me. It's because I treat them like I want to be treated. I really care for my employees. They're really good because they all have their own personality. I don't want a bunch of drones running around there. I mean, if anybody that you've been to the farmhouse, you're going to hear us laughing out loud. Yeah. You're going to hear a swear word every now and then because we took the filter off a long time ago. And it's what I believe in. I've been in the food service for over 46 years. And I thoroughly believe in old-fashioned service and getting in your face and looking you in the eyes and really caring, is your food okay?
Yeah.
And I do the same thing with my employees. I get in their face and I ask them what's going on in their world, because the restaurant, all the employees are extended family. I'm known as Dad, period, end, or the
at least it's not Grandpa.
Or the well, I've had parents who have children now working there, so I could be a grandpa, and we were not. But oh my God, no way. But it is kind of a nice thought. But that's just how I roll with it. I mean, I want to get into their lives. I want them to know that they have someone that they can trust, that they can talk to, not only as a boss, but as a friend.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about what seems to be another great talent of yours. You are, and I just recently found this out about you, you are great with design. Do you feel like, I mean, where did you get that?
I have no idea. I honestly do not. I mean, I was not raised in a family where those things were predominant.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess it's just a gene in me.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It just comes natural.
It just comes natural. I'm good with color. I've always been one to be very bold when it comes to color, to contrast, and things like that. And I'm not scared to take a chance.
Yeah.
And plus, as you saw, you went through the house. I'm so contemporary that it's off the chart.
You are, but it's contemporary. Sometimes contemporary can be hard. Sometimes contemporary can be cold. Mm-hmm. Yours is very warm, very inviting. I mean, it's just, yeah, I kid you all the time about, I really, I just,
Yeah, look at this. Yeah, really. Yeah. She told me not to wear a funky shirt. Trust me, I wanted to put it on. It was bad.
Do not look like you're going to a hoedown.
I'm going to work. Come on.
But your home is spectacular. As much, here's what I've come to believe. Sometimes as we get older, we continue to reinvent ourselves, and we continue to push ourselves, and we continue to find things that we're passionate about and things that we want to work towards. I mean, do you see yourself ever going more in that direction? Because I got to tell you, I know that you're great at the food thing, but you're doing people an injustice, I think, by not dabbling in that at least part-time. You're so talented.
I think it would be fun. I won't deny it. Who doesn't want to take on another avenue? Who doesn't want to try to achieve another goal in their life? Sure, but it's, my taste and somebody else's taste are so totally different that I don't know that I would want to infringe that upon them, even though yes, I would. I mean, I'm not going to cut my own throat right here. Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be awesome to go out and have the ability to walk into someone's house and have a clean slate and say, okay, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's throw some color here. Let's take you out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
And let's put a little excitement into something.
Yeah. Describe your daughter to me.
My daughter, you are an evil woman. The reason I say that is because she knows way too much about me. My daughter was the joy of my life. And this is going to be really good because she's trying to pull out of me things that no one else really can. Just a little background, my daughter passed away 6 years ago from adrenal gland cancer. She was diagnosed with it the day after she graduated from college. We had 2 more years with her, and then she was taken to a better place. Describe Megan to you. She's the spitting image of me. Yeah. She was a go-getter. She was very unfearful, and everything was black and white. There was no gray in this girl's life. She had, her degree was going to be in business and in management. She also had the creative gene, was very, very colorful in her dress, in her character, and in her bedroom. It was you know, maybe I learned it from her, actually. Maybe we fed off each other. But she was a wonderful, wonderful girl. And for whatever reason, she was taken. You know, we have no idea about that. But you have to accept it, and you have to move on. It doesn't do any good to mope about it. Sure, I have bad days. Who wouldn't?
Sure you do. Sure you do.
You know, you lose after her death, and you know, I'm pretty staunch. I keep a lot of things to myself. I don't talk about myself. I don't talk about my hurts or things like that, because I believe nobody really wants to know. It's, you know, it's mine anyway. I'm you know me. I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
In truth, but my persona that I project is total extrovert. But when Megan went, hello.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna break it. A lot of me left with it.
Yeah.
I did lose a lot of drive. Let's put it that way.
You lost some drive.
Oh yeah, I didn't care, and it's probably taken the last couple of years to really get to the point where I want to move on again.
Celebrate the holidays.
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. I don't want to take away from the fact that I also have a son who is fabulous.
He was wonderful.
Ryan is my youngest. I only had two, Megan and Ryan. Ryan is an extremely successful businessman in Kansas City. And him and I are creating and have created a great bond as a father and son. Mm-hmm. And which brings us into a whole nother story of why, and I'm going to beat you to the question because I knew you were going to go here. Why did my son and I not have a good bond? Well, here we go, let her rip. After I had got the restaurant and Megan was, what do I want to say? Diagnosed with cancer. It tore Megan's mother and father apart. It destroyed everything we had, and it also brought out a part of me that I had buried my whole life. I had tendencies, well, let's just call it what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm gay. Mm-hmm. And I've always thought about it. I knew it a long, long time ago. But I was told by many people that no, that's not right. It's just it's a disease, it's a sickness, it's a choice, and you really shouldn't be that way. You should be married, and you should have a business and raise a family and be successful. Well, guess what?
Be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah, I did all that.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I wasn't happy.
When did you know? I mean, is it something that was an inner struggle that you pushed down and you pushed away, or is it something that evolved over time? I mean, describe that for me. I mean, you're talking to you and I know each other.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking to somebody who believes that it's not a choice.
No, it's not.
It's the way
there.
that you're born. It's the way that you are. Just as it's decided that you're male or female. That's decided as well. But I can't imagine what that must have been like if there was a tug, if you will, between knowing who you really were and trying to be someone else. Did you feel that?
Oh, all the time. That you go through it through your whole life. And the mere fact that we're talking about it right now is absolutely devastating to me, because it's something I won't deny that I am. I mean, when my wife and I divorced, that came right out. It was, let me backtrack a little bit. When Megan was diagnosed, a light went off in my head. And this is a story I've told other people that have asked me this. I came to the realization that life is too short. There is not a guarantee in this world I could be here today and I could be gone tomorrow. And when Megan passed away and we had all this, it was, the light went off in my head that said, you need to get on with your life because you're not happy. And even though you're in a marriage and you have a family and you have a business and you have a career, all of that did not matter because I was living a lie. I was lying to myself and I was lying to everybody around me. And it really boiled down to is just, you need to be honest with yourself and everybody else. And so I did. And so the discussion was with my ex, I asked her, I said, you knew the story about me before we got married because, there was no secrets about it back then.
Oh, so your wife knew?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, before we got married, I was gay from the get-go.
Oh.
Why did I stop? It's easy, because I was told it was not the right thing to do. Society does not accept that.
Right.
You will be put down. You will be looked upon in a different manner.
You'll be ostracized.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was when I went after our divorce, and everybody knew that that knew the inside story and everything. Oh yeah, I lost all my friends. It was like, here I am again.
Yeah.
It's time to recreate.
Yeah.
And that's where the farmhouse family stepped in, because everybody that worked there knew the story. Mm-hmm. They watched my daughter pass away. They watched me go through chemo with her, through all the radiation, through all the surgeries. And they covered me while I couldn't be there, or while I fell apart. Or I just didn't give a shit anymore about coming to work because there was no reason. Then they also went through the divorce, and they went through all of Dan kicking down a door and saying, this is who I am. I haven't changed. I'm still a great man. I'm still a loving man. I'm still a giving man. I still have feelings, but they're not for the female.
Yeah.
I had to admit it. I had to come to terms with it. Yes, I've been through the counseling routine. Yes, I've done every gamma that you can imagine that society wants you to go through, or a religion wants you to go through.
To fix you.
Yeah, I needed to be fixed. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't want to be fixed because I was happy the way I am. And I am happy the way I am. There's no getting around it. I have enjoyed my life. It doesn't mean that I'm out carousing or being a bad person, because I'm not. That's not my character. Right. I work. I'm a workaholic.
Yeah, yes,
and
you are.
I run, and this is what I do. And this is scary. I won't deny it. This is very scary, and and if this is going to go on the air, oh my God, I don't want people to look at the restaurant and then look at me and go, well, wait a minute, we don't, hey. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why I never really broadcast my personal life, because I do have to respect the issue that I have people working for me, and I would never want to jeopardize them also, because people are fickle.
They are.
They are judgmental, and I guess hopefully that whoever sees this will know me, have known me, and know what the kind of a person I am, that this is just a very small aspect of my life.
Well, I think that's right. I mean, it's part of who you are, but at this point, the people that know you and the people that have experienced you and the way you do things and in the restaurant, for me, it shouldn't make any difference whatsoever. And the two people out there, because there's probably two,
right,
then it might. They can go down the street and
there's other places that they can have a good meal at. I mean, I'm not gonna, everybody has their own opinion. I'm not gonna judge them. I'm just gonna ask them not to judge me.
Exactly.
And, and that's really all what it boils down to.
Yeah. At some point, I think I had to go through this too. You get to the point in life where this is not a dress rehearsal. We don't get it another time. And for me, when I hear the story about Megan, all I can think of is that she gave you a tremendous gift.
Huh.
She allowed you to go through that.
Oh yeah.
With her.
Yes, she did.
And you allowed her to tell you, it's okay, Dad.
Yeah.
Be you.
Actually, both my kids did. Because I sat down with both of them in the restaurant and said, your mom and dad are getting a divorce. This is not working, and this is why. These are the choices that your father has decided. That was really an interesting, Megan kind of looked at me and she goes, duh. He's like, okay.
You weren't fooling anybody.
Yeah, and you know what, and that probably, I think that was the words that my son used. You weren't fooling anybody, but you know, what do you say? You know, you're my dad and things like that. And I said, you're right, and I still am your dad. Nothing changes here. You know, I will take care of you. I will always be there, regardless if you accept or if you don't accept what we just have discussed here. I think Ryan was probably the hurt most about the fact that, and he was young also.
How old was he?
He would probably have been in his early 20s. I think he was more upset with the fact that it was the fact that mom and dad are getting a divorce, and dad is gay, and my sister is dying.
Yeah.
That's
a lot.
That is a huge, huge amount to be on a young man's plate.
I want to thank you for opening up. You know, I think our legacy sometimes is all about what we leave behind and what we can give to one another and what we can give to other people. And there's probably somebody watching out there who hasn't had the courage, who hasn't been able to be honest with his or herself. And I have goosebumps because I know that you've done that.
Yeah, well, it's anybody can do it. That's all there's to it. I guess that's what I'm going to say. Nothing is impossible.
You're a friend and somebody I look up to, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being on here. It was actually kind of refreshing.
Good.
In many, many ways.
Good.
Scared shitless, but refreshing.
We wouldn't have had it any other way.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us today, and we'll catch you next time on Hesselgesser on Purpose.
The mind fights that bind are signs that we're living in the days when God said he's really getting tired of man's ways, and days are dropping off like minutes. Who repented? It's a race. Who wanna win it? I gotta win it, 'cause I repent.
This program has been brought to you by the Farmhouse Cafe and Mind, Body, Spirit of Omaha.